Family, what it do? It's your girl Tootie Toot, and I am back, Jack. Shout out to the squad. Drip said, I love you the long way. Listen, whatever you want to do in life, you can do that shit. Dreaming really is probable, and that's what Drip said stand for. Understand it, wear it. It's in you. You feel me? Hey, look, man, I need y'all to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Watch the ads. That's all you got to do to support the channel, and it's absolutely free. Now, look, we in this Cindy Chronicle debacle. It's some good shit. So we on part 2. You know what I mean? She wanted my life. Shout out to Cindy. If you're not subscribed to her channel, like I say with everybody, take your ass on over there and hit that subscribe button. Support is free, damn you. You feel me? Just do it. Quick and stink. Let's go.
Welcome to Cindy's Chronicles. Boom, haha. What is up, my angels? Thank y'all so much for tuning in today. I feel like this is going to be a kind of long video, so I'm going to just jump straight into it. For the people who are new to my channel, thank y'all so much for coming. If you don't know what's going on, I'm just going to give you a small little snippet of why I'm doing this video. So, I am Cindy. I am doing a story time right now on my past relationship. So,
Nick, your mama fine. Nick, your mama fine. Yo.
I was in a relationship for 18 years. I was cheated on, betrayed by someone who I thought was my friend. I nicknamed her Tricky Trina, in case you hear me saying Tricky Trina. And somebody who I thought loved me more than anything in the world. I know, well, I thought the feelings were mutual, how we feel, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I was betrayed, and so now I'm telling my story. If you want to get back character, a little bit of their character, go back to the video before this one, and you will get a little bit of what's going on. If you want to get more, then go to the one before that, the Q&A. All right, guys, y'all, if you're ready, let's go ahead and do this. All right. Whew. Why I'm getting nervous like I'm haven't told this story a million times. That is crazy. All right, so guys, we ended last time, the last video I ended on, and if I'm kind of loud, like I'm at the hotel. I came in town to vote, and I was like, I got a few minutes before I pick up my grandson. Let me go ahead and do this video today. I thought I looked kind of cute. All right, so we ended the last video on, I was telling you guys about their character, how, you know, Tricky Trina is well known for messing with people's spouse or mans. The only thing is nobody that I know of was ever crazy enough to mess up their relationship for her. Only mine. I don't know, but if you're weak, you beat. You know, that's my favorite saying. And the back character on my spouse is she's always been really, really weak. But that happens when you're in a relationship or any type of relationship, friendship, relationship, whatever, and you notice characteristics about a person, bad characteristics. It is so important for you to make sure that's something that you want to deal with, because if you're in a relationship with somebody who's weak and who's never fought for themselves, you got to know they're never going to fight for you.
Facts.
Hold
That's
one second,
offending.
guys.
That's a fucking offending.
Take that phone call. And now,
LinkedIn is the place to be.
Hold on. The fuck is this? Hold on, y'all. I see what the fuck probably, because I don't have no ads. We gonna get this. Hold on, y'all. Shoot, we can't have no ads.
Because if you're in a relationship with somebody who's weak and who's never fought for themselves, you got to know they're never going to fight for you.
That's right.
Hold one second, guys. I had to take that phone call. And now I'm back. Okay. Where I was last
shut up, ICD. You get on my nerve. You know I'm all in it.
And then I told you guys that Tricky Trina asked to spend the night at my house because she said that she was too drunk to drive home. Now, again, that's completely out of character for me, but who wouldn't do that for their friend? Especially if you would never think this would happen. Like, let me tell y'all, I know so many people are telling me that, oh, it's been going on, or this had to. I had no idea. Like, I had I would have never thought. So I had no clue. And for the new people, I also want to let you guys know that everything I'm saying is completely true, 100%. This is my story. It happened to me. Okay, so bam. She asked to spend the night at my house. We got in the house. We walking in the house. And for some reason, I just got extremely tired. It was like, this is crazy, right? I knew I took the last drink before we left.
Girl, Tricky Trina probably gave you NyQuil. Tricky Trina to put some in your drink. She was plotting.
The party. But come on now, like, it's no way. I drink, right? I'm a drinker, and it's no way that I come home from a party at 2 o'clock in the morning and I'm this tired. It might have been 2:30, 3 o'clock, something like that. So I just can't understand why I'm so tired.
Tricky Trina gave you rubber test. That's what she did. Bitch.
And I'm going somewhere with this. I'll let you guys know later. My ex, again, does have a history of mishandling or misusing medications that are not prescribed. I thought that we did the whole rehab thing over the years. I thought that, it was, that part was done. But
so she was on them opiates.
I'll tell y'all where I'm going with this.
She was on the pill.
It wasn't. She hadn't started back using it, and that could be the reason for her behavior. So I came in the room. I went in the room. I took my shower. I started to get ready for bed. Now, my ex-friend, Tricky Trina, was like, come on, let's go outside and puff. Let's go outside and puff. It was really cold outside, and I don't puff. So I was like, no, y'all, go ahead. It's fine. Go ahead. I'm going to go take my shower and get ready for bed. I'm coming back. In my mind, I was coming back in. I was going to hang out with them. We could have set up, maybe took a few more shots before we took it to bed, because that's normally what I do. I would never go to bed with someone up in my home. I'm old school. I'm so old school, right? So after I got out the shower, I just felt so tired to the point where I couldn't even come out the room. I pick up the phone and I called my ex. I'm like, what are you doing? She said, we still outside. I said, can you please come in, because I'm really tired and I'm ready to go to bed. She was like, okay. So she came in the room, shortly right afterwards. She came in the room and she came to bed. Well, I didn't waste any time. I went straight. She laid down. I laid on her chest. That's what I normally do every time we get ready for bed. And I went straight to sleep.
She ain't laying on your chest? Because, lay your head on my pillow.
It was so crazy because I fell asleep on her side of the bed, which is not by the door. I'm always sleeping by the door because I have kids, my grandkid, whatever. If anybody come in the middle of the night, I'm the person who jumps
you
up.
the one that got them.
My spot was on side of the door. Her spot was on the way on the opposite side, so that I never wanted to wake her up if somebody interrupted us. So bam, she come to bed. Y'all, I'm trying not to cry. Y'all forgive me. So we go to sleep. I don't know about you guys, but I'm the type of person, if I wake up and my person is not touching me and they're not on side of me, I immediately wake up and start looking for her.
Damn, that's crazy, because I don't. Girl, scoot over. It's hot. You know what I mean? After a while, you had moments where you might start off together, but by the end of the night, you need to back up. I need the air. I need the ventilation system. You feel me? I need that. It's okay. We still here. We together. We on an island, but you don't got to be on my island. You don't got to be on my side.
We have been sleeping together for 18 years strong, literally 18 years. The few times that we did spend a night away from each other, like if I went out of town or something like that, I would have to call her just to fall asleep. Or maybe I'll sleep for 2 or 3 hours because my body is shut down. But I don't get my real sleep until I go back home and get close to her. So I jump up out of my sleep. It was 4:30 in the morning because I still...
Yeah, Pookie. Damn, Cindy. I could have told you that was a red flag. Because you wanted to do all that. Listen, you're not married until you sleep soundly without your spouse. That's when your marriage is good, dog. When you know you can be in that hotel and you can sleep good without your spouse, that's when marriage is perfect. When you got to break down and shit, oh yeah, some bad gonna happen.
Still have the text messages where I said, come to bed, and I end up calling her. I still had the phone call or whatever. I said, I'm tired, come to bed. So, because I texted her before I called her. So it was like, at this point, I took my shower. Everything is like 4:30 in the morning. She came to bed. I laid on her chest. I went to sleep. I felt something wasn't right. Even though I was so sleepy, I could not keep my eyes. It was like a different type of feeling, as if I was under the influence. So I jump up when I didn't feel her feet, and I'm like, I started calling her name. When she didn't answer, I jumped.
She said she couldn't feel her what? Her feet? What'd she say? She couldn't feel her feet? Damn, man, Bella probably didn't step out a lot of times because I don't do feet. I don't like feet.
I started calling her name. When she didn't answer, I jumped up out the bed like wide awake. I started to walk into the other parts of the house. Well, the very first thing I did when I opened my door is my grandson's room is how this works is down the hall. To the left is where my son's Anthony room used to be. If you go down a little bit further, it's where my daughter Nick's room used to be. And then straight ahead, when the kids were young, it used to be my youngest son's room, Larry. So since all the kids are moved out and my grandson was living with me, I gave my grandson Larry's old room because it's directly across the hallway and I can open the door and see. Even though the hallway is kind of far, I could still see everything in there as long as the door is open. So I looked across the hallway and I'm calling my ex's name really loud. And I see
She just called me broke as fuck by her hallway. You know what I mean? That motherfucker seemed vast. You dig like that? I mean, I ain't never been called broke from a hallway.
Light pop on. But it's the TV light. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe the TV was on dark and it just popped on or whatever, because we never turn that TV off like ever. Of course, my mind is not at all going to a place where she's in that room across the hall. So what I do is I walk down the hall and I take a right, which takes me into the living room area. Well, it takes me down the hall to go into the living room area. So as I'm walking down the hall, I'm steady calling her name. And then I get to the living room. My son is on the couch asleep because him and his girlfriend spent the night that night. And I asked him, I say, have you seen my ex? You know, I said her name. And I got to think of a name for her too, guys, because I keep calling my ex. But I was like, I asked him, I said, did you see her? And he was like,
man, the audacity. The ex fucking tricky Trina in the crib with the whole family? Oh, she
never came out the room. I said, huh? He said, yeah. I was like, did she go outside? He said, well, she asked me to come outside and puff with you, her, and her friend. And I told her I didn't want to come. I said, well, I never went out there. He said, oh, well, she told me that you was going out there with them. I said, well, why would she tell you that? Now I'm getting a little suspicious. Like, why, if she asked you to come out there, she told you that I was coming too, because she knows that if she tells my son that I'm going to be out there, he's a grown man. I know he puffs, right? But one thing about my children, they're not going to do it in front of me. So if she says, do you want to come outside because me and your mom is coming outside with me while I puff, he's not going to come.
She said that so he wouldn't come outside. That's exactly why she said it. She was planting a manipulative seed without really being out. Yo, that is fucked up. And niggas thought, oh yeah, she was just all sweet and shit. That bitch is a genius in her brain.
Because
she's a narcissist.
She's not going to puff in front of me. So he was like, well, I told her no because I thought you was going to be out there. I was like, oh. He said, but when y'all went to bed, she never got back up. I'm like, mm-hmm. So I turn around and I start back walking down the hallway. Now, mind you, I'm thinking if she left out of my room, oh yeah, I did go back to my room and I looked in the bathroom to make sure she wasn't like on the toilet or anything.
Yeah, because I shit with the lights off. I like that too. Anybody else a shit with the lights off, you know what I mean? Or whatever. So I see why she would have thought she would still been in there. You know what I mean? But let's keep going.
I looked at the shower, she wasn't there, and I turned around and started slowly. I mean, it was so slow, like, it's crazy that I was almost giving them time to undo whatever was going on in that room. Because never in a million years would I have thought that she was, at this point, I'm still in denial that she's actually in that room. I'm like, it's no way.
Ain't no way.
So I'm walking, normally a person would hurry up and go there first and jack the door open.
Like y'all was fucking so bad you didn't hear her calling your name? It would seem like if you know you sneaking like that, nigga, your ears would be satellites if you know you doing wrong. How you ain't hearing her call your name? What kind of coochie do Tricky Trina got? She gotta have Haagen-Dazs. Oh yeah, gotta be almonds in that motherfucker there. Cause ain't nowhere in the world you went deaf.
It was just like, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. So I'm walking slow, and I am not lying, God. It's kind of like on a freaking movie or something. You know how on a movie, a scary movie, you'd be like, girl, just open the door for you. You're going to miss. It's kind of like I'm missing everything on purpose or something. It's crazy. So when I get to the room, I don't know what I was thinking. I think I was thinking that it's not possible. So I don't want my friend to think I'm like disrespecting her by busting in the room. I knocked on the door. So I went knock, knock, knock. And I twisted and walked in. Woo-hoo. Okay, so when I walked in, my ex is sitting on the standing in the bottom part of the bed with a remote control in her hand, like she's turning the TV. So I was like, I looked at her and I said, what are you doing in here? And she said, oh, I was just about to turn the TV off. And I'm scanning the room because, mind you, I skipped this part. When I walked in the house and I told my I told Tricky Trina, I said, here, you can sleep in my grandson's room. Well, the bed was really, really neatly made up. Neat, okay? So the pillows were all stacked on the bed. I took the big pillows off of the bed, set them on side the floor, and pulled the covers back. Now, mind you, she's kind of tiny, right? She's really tiny. So if I pull the covers back and you got in the bed on one side, the other side shouldn't even be messed up.
That's fucking right.
Plus, you're so tiny that...
Because that side over there is the danger zone. Everybody know when you get in the bed, you build the fort. If you put your foot on the other side, it'd be so cold. So I know she's telling the truth.
Even if you were like really sleeping all over the bed, it shouldn't have been that messed up. So I'm scanning the room with my eyes, and all I could think about is when I went in the room to tell her where she was going to be sleeping, and I pulled the covers back. I'm looking on the floor where nothing was on the floor. The room was really, really clean. The only thing was on the floor was the pillows. But the pillows are scattered all over the side of the bed as if somebody was stepping on them or maybe fell on them or something. But when I look in the bed, she's in the bed with the covers over her head. My ex is sitting on the bottom of the bed with the remote like this, like a crazy person. So I was like,
Yeah, you wouldn't have got past me. I don't give a fuck. Nah, hell nah. I would have pulled the covers back from the foot. Let me see what's going on down there. Because I know what's going on. And it bet not be no secretion. Because I'm about to turn this motherfucker out. You did? It ain't no way, dog. It ain't no way, dog. Oh, shit. It ain't no way, dog.
What is going on? And my ex looked at me and she said, I'm turning the TV off. I said, so, and you could tell, like, it was almost like I wasn't even looking at her. It was almost like I was looking at a devil or somebody else. It just wasn't her. So I immediately knew that she was like really high. So I'm staring into her eyes and I'm like, what are you doing? I know everybody probably think I would have just went in there and started punching, but when you love somebody and you trust them and you really, really just know the character of this person, it's so, you would have to be in that situation to understand where I'm coming from.
I get it though, but I would have still been loving her and trusting her as I was punching her, because it don't look right. I still love you, but you gonna get these minks.
Like, if one of my friends would have told me this, I would have been like, girl, I would have went in there swinging, blah, blah, blah. But knowing my ex, I trusted her with everything in me. She's the one person in this world. Of course, I trust God. I don't want y'all coming for me and all that, but she's the one person in this world who I trusted with my life. She's the one person in this world who I would always say, if y'all want to know if I'm telling the truth, ask her, because she don't lie. Like that. I used to always say she don't lie. She don't lie. But again, I dismissed her character when I met her, because when I first met her, that's all she did was lie and cheat and was weak. Okay. But when we got in a relationship, it just felt so real and our bond was so tight. And if a person is the same.
And that pussy was good. This is called a spade a spade. Sometimes, bro, we look at shit for what it is. When coochie is good, it'll make you think that the dumbest person in the world might be a genius. I swear to God. Bro, when you get some good top, okay, everything that you thought you knew, you don't. I swear to God.
Same way for a full 18 years, you're like, this is this person's character. Okay, so I'm looking her in her eyes and I was like, please tell me nothing is going on in here. She was like, no, I was turning off TV. I said, well, why did you come in here? She said, well, me and Tricky Trina were talking. I said, talking about what? So soon as I said that, I looked to the bed where Tricky Trina had the covers over her head. She pulled the covers off her head and she said, stop lying on me. I didn't even know you were in here. And
see, it would have been right then when everybody who was in that room would have got elbowed. Because you not finna play me like that. No! I don't give a fuck if we was together 32 years. Do you hear that?
I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, it could have slid if she would have been like, yeah, girl, you was asleep and we were up. We didn't feel like sleeping. We wanted to talk. I could have understood that a little bit more.
Nah.
But when she pulled the covers off her said head and she said, I didn't even know you were in here. What you doing in here? Now I'm like, well, hold up, because something ain't right? I'm like, you're saying that you're talking to her. She's saying that she didn't even know you was in here. Who's lying? So at this time now, my ex is trying to wiggle her way out the room, talking about, let's go in our room and talk. I was like, no, we need to talk right here, because at the same time, my eyes are scanning the room where I see drinks on my grandson's dresser, like shots. I see, it looks like 2 shots were empty and it had 1 shot that was completely full. Like maybe somebody didn't take the last shot. And I'm looking all around. I see, we don't puff in the house and we definitely don't puff in my grandson's room, but I see the residue was right there. Like, wait a minute, are y'all puffing in here? So I'm scanning the room like stuff. I see the ashtray. Like, were y'all having a party in here? So now I'm thinking maybe they were just having a drink because I was asleep. Maybe I walked in and they were terrified.
Ain't no maybe, baby. That's certified on so many levels. The grandson room, the paraphernalia in his room, hell no.
I thinking I was going to think something, so now they're freezing, right? All kind of things are going through my head. So as I'm asking my ex, just tell me what's going on. Tell me, I need answers. I need to know why you're in this room. She steady walking out, pushing me towards the hallway. So as we're in the hallway, mind you, I'll skip this part. When I got up to look for her, when I went back in the room to check the bathroom, I looked in my bed, and in my bed, I found her phone and I found some pills. I don't know what I could say on here, so I'm just going to say they were
Yerks.
If you guys can read through the lines, it was something that people use for anxiety. And my ex had a real bad issue with abusing those in the past. Like bad. Like, I'm not even going to air out her laundry because we were in love, and I knew about this. I did try my best to help her to get off of it, which I thought she was at the time.
I just want to say shout out to Cindy for how strong she is. And that's how I know that the good Lord is still working on me. And maybe her being poised, she was able to get more information. Because my series would have stopped right when I went in that room. Oh, the biting and the elbowing and the way I would have came off dressers with roundhouses would have been, it would have been just, you wouldn't have understood it.
So.
Shit, bro.
Why did it have one in my bed? I have no idea. Like, wait a minute. It was, mind you, I'm on her side of the bed. So did she drop it out her pocket? Was it meant for me? I have no idea, but it was in the bed. And her phone was in the bed also, but it was more like on my side. So I grabbed the phone because I was going to look through the phone to try and see if maybe I grabbed the phone to see if I could open it, to see if maybe she talked to somebody or something, like, where are you? So as I was walking, okay, so back to when I was in the room. That happened before. So I'm holding her phone in my hand because I'm like, what is going on? Your phone is in the room. You know, I couldn't get in the phone. Now, mind you, we have each other codes. We have always had each other codes, but we never looked through each other's phones. So it's no reason, like, I never looked through her phone, but I know if I needed to go order something or if I needed to make a phone call, I could just go to her phone, open it up. But we really trust each other. We didn't look in each other's phones. So I'm holding the phone in my hand. I don't know if I'm just nervous or if she changed the password. So I'm opening it up trying to say, tell me what's going on. I'm trying to see if they had texted each other like prior saying, come in a room or come hang out with me. I'm trying to make sense of it. But at the same time, while I'm trying to make sense of it, my ex is pushing me towards the hallway.
She's trying to get you out the room.
So now we're in the hallway, you know, going back and forth or whatever. Like, no, tell me, blah, blah, blah.
Meanwhile, the friend is all in the bed trying to hurry up and slide her panties and shit on. Let's call a spade, y'all dirty motherfuckers, y'all.
Completely, like, my mind is so out of it that I did none of the things that I would have normally done if I was in the right state of mind. I'm so confused. I didn't even think to say, if I could do it all over again, I would go in the room and handle my ex, Tricky Trina, because my ex wasn't going anywhere. I would go in the room and tell Tricky Trina, I need to know now what's going on. Blah,
the way
blah,
she
blah.
say Tricky Trina is
as
sending
me.
me.
My ex are passing words. She creeps her way to the room. She's like, you're tripping. I swear to God, I would never did. Mind you, she's saying swear to God, right? This is a person who I trust more than anything in my life. So she's like, you're tripping. I can't believe you. We just in here talking and you're accusing me and blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, oh my goodness. As we're talking, she's steady easing her way to the room. So now we're like, she walks in our closet because we have this huge walk-in closet that used to be a room and we turned it into a closet, you know, to go into my room. So it's a huge closet the size of a room. So we're in my closet now and we're like, I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. Why? I don't care if you just wanted to talk. It was inappropriate. So now I'm changing from saying it's inappropriate. I mean, I'm changing from thinking they're, you know, now accusing her of doing something, because now she's like, you're accusing me. So I'm changing from you're accusing. I changed it where I don't want her to think I'm accusing her. I want her to know that whatever you went in there for, it was inappropriate. So we're talking, blah, blah, blah. I get a text message. The text message is from Tricky Trina saying, I felt uncomfortable, so I left. I'm like, oh no. Now, mind you, 2 days prior, well, on my birthday, which was 5 days prior, she had some dude, and I don't even get down like this. I should have really X'd her out then. Some dude dropped her off at my house that morning. She didn't want him to know where she stayed. I don't know. But dropped her off to my house, and because we went out the night before my birthday, and she left with some dude and have him drop her off to my house. And I took her to her car. I don't know why she did that, had him drop him off to my house, but we did talk about it. I was like, oh no, I'm in a relationship. You can't do that. You know, we had just began to be back friends, and I had to set her straight, like, nah, this dude can't be dropping you off in my house because I don't get down like that. I'm in a relationship. So surely, now I gotta, surely she just gets up and leave. I'm like, oh, so I text her back. I was like, oh, you should feel uncomfortable. And I still got the text messages. I was like, oh, you should feel uncomfortable because something inappropriate was going on. You need to get back here. So she was like, oh no, I kept calling her, and she's not answering at this time. So I'm texting her like, you need to get back here right now. We need to talk. We need to talk about what happened in that room, blah, blah, blah. So here my son, so I'm like, just like, I don't know what to think. It's kind of like when you're like on TV, when they have like a scene, maybe like a car accident or something.
Ooh, Cindy, I wish I was your friend. The way I would have teleported to your house. If you couldn't do nothing, I would have. I would have bit them motherfuckers good for you like a pit. I swear to God. Ooh, I wish I was your friend.
And the person's mind is just like the world is spinning. That's how it was. It's kind of like I was just hearing voices over here saying you're tripping. I was hearing voices over here saying you need to go off. I didn't know what to do. So my son walked in there. I'm just like screaming, I need to know. I need answers. So my son walks in there. I walk in the hallway, and he walks in the hallway, and he meets me there, and he said, Mama, I think you're tripping. And I was like, why you say that? He said, you know, my ex has been getting drunk lately a lot. Well, we thought that she had just been getting drunk a lot lately. Come to find out that she was back on prescribed meds.
Okay.
He was like, yeah, you know, lately, prior to this, a few mornings before, she fell down in the hallway and he had to bring her to bed.
Oh,
he was like, Mama, I think that she was just really drunk. We're thinking she's drunk now, not knowing that she's under the influence of something else. He was like, the other night I had to bring her to bed. I think that she was really drunk and she wandered in that room. And I'm like, oh gosh, maybe he's telling the truth. Now I feel horrible. I go in there and I'm talking to my ex. At this time, she just goes and get in the bed like she don't have a worry in the world. Like, you tripping, I didn't do anything, I'm going to bed, right? It's 7 o'clock in the morning now. Mind you, I text her at 4:30 to come to bed in the morning. She came to bed. So between 4:30 in the morning and 7 a.m., I woke up at exactly 7 a.m. I'm the type of person, first of all, I can't sleep when the sunlight come up. Second of all, I can't sleep without my person on side of me. So I have no idea how long she was out that room. My son wouldn't have known because he was in the living room. And so, bam. I was like, how long were you in there? My ex was like, I don't know. I said, just give me something, please. I don't want to feel this way. I don't want to feel like I'm accusing you. I'm just pouring out to her, like, give me something. I said, tell me what y'all were talking about. She said, well, all I know we was talking about is her sons. You know, she was telling me about her sons. Now, one of her sons is gay. So she was like, she was telling me about her son came out and blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay, now we're getting somewhere. And I was like, can you tell me how long you were in there? She was like, I don't know. Okay, so nobody knows anything. Y'all don't know. Only thing you can remember, one thing y'all talked about, you can't remember nothing else you talked about.
Yeah, see, you ain't finna have me confused until you finna go get tucked in and go to night-night. Because, see, I try, you know what I mean? But then I'll be sitting there laying there in the dark, and you be over there sounding like you sleeping good. And I got all of this shit in my head. Next thing you know, I done hit you in the back of your shit. Because you ain't finna just disrespect me and go to bed like you ain't start this ruckus. If your ass would have been in the bed, we wouldn't even been going through this. You started this shit. Now you gonna sleep sound? Oh, hell no. Ain't nobody sleeping sound. Ain't nobody sleeping sound around this motherfucker. It's finna be loud. You feel me? I'm sorry. God is still working on me.
And I'm just left to pick up the pieces. So I went on. I had a makeup appointment that morning because I had a brunch that day. You know, I was supposed to start fasting or whatever, blah, blah, blah. So I canceled my makeup appointment. I canceled my brunch. And I was my mind was so gone. I said, I'm just going to stay at home. I'm going to clean up. I'm going to cook. I'm going to just try to get through this. I let my ex sleep. My daughter-in-law came in there.
Cindy, you are a pure soul. And what this girl look like, I know I gotta hurry. We gonna get to the next part after this. But I'm just saying because Cindy fine, what this girl look like? Huh? What she look like, y'all?
And she was like, I heard she told me that she heard everything. And she was like, can I say something? I said, yeah. She said now let me tell you backstory on her. My daughter-in-law was going with my son since they were in 7th grade. They were best friends first. They started dating, and they're both in their 20s at this point, okay? They both were 22. So mind you, she's been in our family since 7th grade till she was like to 22. They were 22 at the time. I think they're both 23 now. She said, and she stayed with us a lot, pretty much lived with us. She said, as long as I've been knowing you, I've never known you to ever go to sleep with people in your house, let alone a woman. I said, you're right. She said, when you came in here, you wasn't yourself. It was almost as if you were on something. I took a deep breath and I said, that is crazy you said that, because I found something in the bed. It was literally, when I got out the bed, it was literally like inches away from her phone, my ex's phone.
You know what? To drug somebody so you can fuck her friend. I mean, fuck you. You are a pathetic motherfucker, bro. Straight up. Straight the fuck up. Yo, this is some good shit. This motherfucker right here need to be on cable. I need to see characters and all. This some good shit.
She said, I couldn't believe you went to bed, and I couldn't believe that you were allowing that. She said, I don't know what it was, but I immediately thought that somebody gave you something. So I'm starting to think back like, man, right before we left out the party, they did give me a drink.
See?
Because something had been in my drink. You know, like my mind is racing now. So bam, I go back to my grandson's room. And this is probably about, mind you, what happened at 7 o'clock that morning. My ex been asleep all day. I cooked, I cleaned up. This was about 7 o'clock that evening. So I go back in the room.
I would have put that pill that I found back in her breakfast. No bullshit. I'm getting in this phone today. We gonna find out. Olivia Benson, SVU. I'm figuring it out. I'm gonna catch a perk. I would have did the same shit. Oh, you want to do that? You want to go pill for pill? Bet. Let's do it. I would have found out all in. By the time that motherfucker woke up, she would have been packed and everything, because I would have known everything, all the way down to the lines and latitude where y'all was fucking at in my house.
Room. I said, I'm gonna come in this room. I start to circle the whole room, looking around like for any clues. I'm looking all over the floor. I see pillows everywhere. I see drinks. I mean, it looks like a party was going on in the room. I pull the sheets back and it's full of blood. I'm like, what? I mean, blood. Pull the sheets back and it's full of blood. I'm like, what? I mean, blood everywhere. The sheets are full of blood. Now, and then I thought back, dang, she did tell me her cycle was on. But if your cycle is on and you're sleeping in one spot, it seems like it would only leak in that one spot. The blood was smeared. The blood was all over the bed as if she was scooting on the bed with her bottom.
Cindy!
Everywhere.
Are you fucking serious?
What the freak? I pulled the sheets back. I threw those sheets away, by the way, immediately. So I'm looking at all the blood. The blood was so bad that it leaked through to the mattress cover. So I'm snatching the sheets off the bed. And what do I see? My ex head, anybody who know my ex, she always had on this head thing. It's, I don't know what you call it. It's like a bandana, not a bandana. It's like a, not a bonnet, a skull cap, you know, for dreads that you tie on your head to keep your hair laid down or whatever. She wore those all the time. So I looked and the headscarf was in the corner of the sheet. Mind you.
Bro, listen. Now look. Nah, it's one of these. I know what she talking about. Because when you have dreads, this the only thing that really worked like that. Let me tell you. And let me tell you something else. No one knows like me. When you got one of these motherfuckers on right here, no matter how tight you try to make it, when you eating that box, bro, this motherfucker gonna come off. I swear to God, she ain't telling no lies. Come on, Cindy, give it to me. Give me the rest.
When I got ready to take the sheets off, when I pulled the sheets back, I noticed that the corner of the sheet was pulled back. And I'm thinking, if one person is in his bed, how are the sheets off of the bed? Like, because this is a big, thick pillow top mattress, and the fitted sheet goes tucked under. So why is the fitted sheet off? You know, that only happens if you're rumbling or something in the bed and the fitted sheet comes off. But once I looked in it, the fitted sheet was turned up. I hope y'all can understand what I'm saying. Like on the corner of the bed, the fitted sheet was turned up. So when I grabbed it to take the sheets off the bed, in the corner was my ex's headscarf. Now my mind, I'm playing back in my head when I walked in the room and I'm looking at her. I started thinking, wait a minute. My ex didn't have on a shirt. And she's a stud, and she's that stud who does not walk around people without clothes on. She's that stud who thinks everybody's looking at her girl parts or something. I was like, dang, she didn't have on a shirt.
Because she had to take it off because she had all of the crime scene evidence on it. My nigga, find this shirt. The fuck? Because I know it look like a crime scene. The fuck? Bro, this is... Yo, I can't believe I waited. It was all in the DMs. I'm so happy. Oh, shit, bro.
She had on like a white beater. I look on the floor. Her shirt is on the floor on the bed. I was wondering why stuff was all over the floor when nothing was in the room when they went in there. Her shirt is on top of the pillows. I was stepping on it. I looked. I pulled the shirt up. I got her headscarf in my hand. The bed is full of blood. Y'all ready for this? I take everything off the bed. I throw it in the hallway so I can start throwing stuff away. At this point, I'm looking around the room for any more signs. I took pictures, y'all. Like I started taking pictures. I want to show them, but I just don't want to like incriminate myself because a lot is going on right now with court. It's so much stuff. I'm going to get into that too. So I pulled the bed, the mattress. Okay.
Ooh, I want to see them pictures so bad. Am I toxic? Ooh, I want to see them pictures so bad.
My grandson's bed, the mattress is a little bit off of the back. So one thing is anytime you're in that bed, everything slips behind the bed. This girl panties was behind the bed. A size small black panties. Her skirt was so short that night that when I think back.
Yeah, we know they ain't your panties. We all know her. They come from a whole line of donks. We know that she ain't no small ass to chew that string up. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I knew.
All you could see the whole night was her black panties. And I was like, her panties are behind the bed. And they was some little bitty size small panties. Let me tell y'all, I wear a size large in Victoria's Secret, okay? They were black Victoria's Secret panties.
Told you.
Now, I always keep that room spotless because one thing about my grandson, he don't sleep in there. He sleep with me every night. That's just, sometimes I'll put him to bed in there and let's see. Sometimes I'll put him to bed in his room and I would he'll fall asleep and then he'll come in there with me. But his room is always spotless. I even tried to tell myself that, okay, maybe when his mama spent the night, she slept in here. Maybe these are her panties. But
Neat can't fit them panties neither. Just keep going, Cindy.
My daughter wears a size large like me. Like she got a big old donk too. Or we both wear medium, sometimes a large or whatever, but never a small. Never, ever, ever a small. Like nobody in that house wears a small and panties except for my other daughter-in-law. But she would have never had a reason to be in that room because my son still has a full room in my house with a king-size bed. So why would she ever even go in Kaiser's room? That would not make no sense. So I'm like, oh, no, I'm firing up.
Green light, go on, man.
Y'all got to know, like my mind was like, nobody could tell me nothing. I know what I know. I did this. Oh, my God. So I go in the room. And I tell my ex, wake up right now, wake up, right?
Cindy. You got too much evidence to give her this type of tap to wake up. if you don't elbow this motherfucker in the head and say, get up. You know what I'm saying? That's what need to be happening right now. You know what I'm saying? We can't afford that other bullshit. I need you to do something. Cindy, you too sweet, boo. I got to take you through a course.
So she jumps up and accused me of sticking her in the eye with my fingernail. You stuck me in the eye with your fingernail. I'm like, no, I didn't. So now that I'm looking back, she was trying to deflect on what I had saw by telling me I stuck her in the eye with my fingernail. Because we don't fight. We've never had a fist fight in our whole entire relationship. 18 years. We definitely don't cuss at each other or.
Oh, hold on, y'all. Hold the fuck on. Nah, we finna go to the next one, but I gotta pee real quick. Hold on. I got too much shit going on. I gotta get my blunt. Hold on. Got my blunt here. Hold on. No. Hell yeah. Hold on. We finna get into it. Hey, hold on, dog. Hey, hold the fuck on, Shawty. Wait till I go use the bathroom and come back because I need to get the second part. I need to get the one after this. I'm invested now. You know what I'm saying? Tricky Trina done pissed me off. The ex done pissed me off. You know what I'm saying? I'm involved. I can't believe that Tricky Trina would come over that motherfucker like that and leave a crime scene in your natty ass panties in this little boy room. You motherfucker. Ooh, hold on. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm so sorry. Hold on. I'm invested. Ooh. Shit, nah. Fucking crazy. No caparoni. Hey, listen. Hold on. Let me see here. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Come on, don't do that shit. I'm invested. Oh, I see why.